Hello everybody and welcome to this unique video. So, yesterday there was this stream with Battlefield 1. Also, I'm recording this while I'm playing, so excuse any fuck-ups. I'm bad at this game, okay? So, Battlefield 1 was shown. Gameplay, multiplayer gameplay. Which, yeah, like, I didn't have too high hopes, but it was World War 1, Battlefield 1, you know. World War 1, bolt actions, I love my bolt actions. And machine guns, the early tanks. And I'd hoped that, of course, bolt actions would be dominating weapon type. There would be some, I could accept some, whatchamacallit, some semi-automatic rifles, like a couple, and a couple of SMGs. But of course they would have to have some major drawbacks, because bolt actions, they should be the major player of the field, right? Because World War 1, what did everybody use? Everybody used bolt actions. Sounds reasonable. Well, disappointment city, here I come. So, I saw the stream, I was decently excited. I contain my excitement since there's been a lot of disappointing games over the years. And Battlefield 1 will be absolutely no different. Ow. So, Battlefield 1. If you looked at the stream, what did everybody use? Except for snipers. I'll hand it to the snipers. They used, well, bolt actions. But other than snipers, what did everybody use? Well, I noticed, although there weren't many, there were semi-automatics. There was a decent amount, I would say, from what I saw, maybe equal or even more than... I'm just getting wrecked here. More than,
User disconnected from your channel.
Sorry, I'm still on TeamSpeak. More than bolt actions. And I handed it to them, like the planes and all that, it looked cool. The tanks and cool. There aren't many World War 1 games, except we're doing. But the amount of SMGs, it felt like everybody was using SMGs. Now, fair enough, if you're playing, if it's a World War 2 game, if it was Battlefield World War 2, SMGs and semi-automatic rifles, well, the argument can be made since the Germans had the Gewehr 43, the British, I don't believe the British actually had a semi-automatic, the Russians had the SVT 40, the Americans had, of course, the M1 Garand. All examples of semi-automatic weapons. And I don't know if the Japanese had any, but anyways, so they had them. Everybody had SMGs. The Japanese, I can't remember. The Russians had, for example, the PPS H41. The Germans, the MP40. The Americans, the Thompson. The British, the Sten gun. However, in World War 1, what did everybody have? Well, the Americans, they had the Springfield 03, I believe. The British, they had, of course, the Lee Enfield, which, of course, was also their primary weapon during World War II. The Germans, they had the Gewehr 98, which would later be replaced as primary weapon in Germany by the Kar 98. The Russians, they had the Mosin Nagant. Now, there's one thing you should notice. There's a lack of something. What's common about all of these weapons? And the majority of the armies would have it. The Germans would have some submachine guns in 1918, but barely any. It's not even worth mentioning. What all of those have in common is their bolt actions. Yeah, they're bolt actions, so... Why are there so many semi-automatic and automatic weapons? Like, I can give... Fair enough, if you have machine guns. Fair enough, they were used. They were light and heavy machine guns during World War One. I can give you that pass, EA. And having some submachine guns and some semi-automatic rifles, like prototypes and such. Fair enough, I won't blame you for it. However, if you're going to add those things, limit them so that there's a realistic amount. We're playing World War One. We're not playing World War Two. Not everybody was running around with submachine guns all the time, or semi-automatic rifles. It just didn't happen. The bolt action was the de facto weapon of that time. Everybody used bolt actions. It was like 99% chance. If you met a guy, he would either have a pistol or a bolt action. That's the chances. The chances of him having a semi-automatic or weapon or an automatic weapon was relatively small. I won't say it's 99%, but since there were machine guns, so say 1 in 5 were bolt actions. Oh, if so many were bolt action, then why are there so many semi-automatic and automatic weapons? Like, seriously, Battlefield. Like, I had hopes for you. Okay? I had hopes for Battlefield. But instead it's gonna be the same old Battlefield 4 fast-paced bullshit. Like, I don't mind fast-paced games. Like, I'm playing Battlefield 4 now. However, it's World War 1. It's not World War 3. Oh, shit. Well. So, why are there... So, EA, why did you do this? Like, I had hopes for Battlefield 1. In one video, or in one stream, all those hopes were crushed. I'll be back to playing proper games like Red Orchestra and Rising Storm, where it's actually representative to the armies. Like, instead of having everybody running around with SMGs and assault rifles. Like, it wouldn't be a surprise. If everybody was allowed to, everybody would be running around in Sturmgewehr 44s and Red Orchestra too. However, they prevented it with a squad system. I'm not saying that EA should implement the squad system. They could do it by giving the weapons a drawback. They were prototypes after all. Give them a relatively high chance of jamming, for example. But just do something to promote bolt actions, since it's World War One. Everyone used bolt actions, okay? I understand the kids these days only like the fast pace. They like to run around with their automatic weapons. Well, if they want to do that, they've got Battlefield 4 or 3 or CSGO or Call of Duty. Yeah, you had a chance of doing something good. And I know the weapons are only one aspect of the game, but it's a shooting game. What's the most important part in a shooting game? The weapons. What did EA fuck up? The weapons! So yeah, I'll probably buy BF1, I'll admit, but only if it's like really, only when it's really cheap. If they had hit the ballpark, made bolt actions the de facto weapon in that game, I don't know how, if they'd just done it. And they might still. It's not the case from what we could see from the live stream, but they might still do it. And if they do it, I might buy it, but I won't pre-order it, especially now. They had a chance, de facto weapon, bolt action. That's why I enjoy World War II and World War 1 games. I myself, I love bolt actions. When I fired real life guns, what was my favorite gun? The Moisten gun. Granted, it was the only bolt action I fired, and I've fired till now, but I loved it. That was the most enjoyable gun I fired. And I've always been fascinated by bolt actions. I love them. They feel great, the power of them. But EA are not gonna do that. No. They're gonna give us the semi-automatic weapons. And the automatic weapons, the ones which the BF1 kiddies, not the BF1, the Call of Duty kiddies and all those guys want to play with. And when they said that Battlefield 1 was gonna be a thing, I had hopes. Like, Battlefield 1, that's great. Battlefield 1 bolt actions, maybe prototype weapons, machine guns, biplanes, and triplanes. Like, that can't be bad. Like, why would it? It's World War One. You can't mess World War One up. It's simple. It wasn't only static battle. Yes, we all know that. The Eastern Front had a lot of movement in it. There was a lot of bolt actions, so give everyone bolt actions. There were machine guns, so give everyone machine guns. Or give squads machine guns. Put it in a map, have all the destruction and planes like they already have. Make it not fast-paced, since it's bolt action and World War One. And you have a game! But they fucked up on the most important part. I'm dead. How do you even fuck up that badly? Oh shit. Like, it should have been simple. It should have been simple. But it wasn't. And I'm so disappointed by it. But hey, one thing I can say is I should probably say this as well. While it is indeed the case that that's what we saw in the stream, a majority being semi-automatic and automatic weapons, that is not necessarily the case. That's just the case at the point of the stream. Things can still change. The game isn't launching before the October 21st. And another thing I can say, if you really want the World War I experience, I'll be buying it at some point. Verdun, it looks like it's a good game. It's actual bolt actions instead of just semi-automatic bullshit. So take a look at Verdun if you really want World War I. Otherwise, Battlefield 1, you fucked up. You had a chance. You fucked up on the most important part, which is the weapons. And Rant. So thank you all for watching. And I'll see you next time. Yep, bye.